Alright, welcome back to another episode of Art Time, where today we're going to be working on the 13th episode of Nova Guardians. Now, I don't think we recorded the 12th episode. I think we just did that one. No video needed or done. So, yeah, it's fine. If you enjoyed today's episode, regardless, please leave a like and subscribe for more. Now then, we have passed a pretty big point in the story. Tina had some character development. You can even see some scars left on her body ever since that 12th episode. You guys on YouTube ain't seen, but that's fine, because they, you can read the episode entirely on my DeviantArt page. That's kind of like the entire point here. This is just me drawing it and just having a little episode for art time, since I have been kind of lacking when it comes to art time. Though admittedly it's a lot of mature drawings that we have been doing as of recent. Well, I wouldn't say a lot in terms, it's still the same as it ever was in terms of, what would the number be? It's 20 per limitation period, and that's throughout the course of 8 months. And 8 months is 2 hardcore mature drawings, which would make a grand total of 16. So 36 mature drawings within a span of 8 months. Which is not a lot when you consider the fact that I'm also drawing 80 drawings in total for DeviantArt, topped off with, Subscribe Star. And you've got yourself 96 drawings within a span of 8 months. That's an insane amount when you really get raw down to it. With the skill level that I am currently at right now and the amount of creations I'm able to get done with, it is quite impressive that we have been able to keep up at this rate that we have been going. Now, granted, Nova Guardians is going to be 6 episodes of limitation period now. Thankfully, though, it's only 2 limitations periods, because this is the halfway point. We've passed the halfway point. Still 16 months, though, and 4 of those months are hiatuses, 2-month hiatus each for 6 episodes coming out. Basically, it's this episode for January, then we got February, March, then in April, May is a hiatus. And it picks up June, July, August, September, October, and November before it goes on to another 2-month hiatus. And then the last 3 episodes gets finished off in February, March, and April. So yeah, we got this series that takes ages to write an episode, even if it is just like 55 or so kilobytes worth of text. It's still a lot. No joke, that's still a lot of text to have to write up. Even if we are going by a 4-chapter instance and we don't have to read through the entirety of it, just reread through an entire chapter once it's done. Which I will say is a hell of a lot easier to do. And the fact that this doesn't need to have 22 minutes to get it done with is good too, but at the same time, the trade-off here is that we have to write an entire 55 kilobytes worth of story, which could take an entirety of a Sunday. But yes, I am definitely looking forward to finishing off Nova Guardians entirely. Mainly because of the whole, it takes so long just to get an episode written up. Which I guess, to most other people, the normal writers out there, it's probably an impressive amount of time to get writing this entire story done within 1 day worth of time. Now, whether or not it's good is all really depends on what people consider good in terms of writing and bringing stuff up. I've been keeping notes recently of Heavenly Deadland and Elementals Reborn, because I've been trying to, keep my head in the game when it comes to, well, what have we said that we can reference later on, and what minor stuff have we said so we don't have to accidentally repeat it ourselves throughout the course of, Because in Nova Guardians, I have recalled back in episode 6 that Tina was talking about Kiahana being used as a scapegoat. But this was during a time when John was still idolizing the Big Three. And on their way back to get to the Rocky Crags, or whatever the hell I called that region, Tina brought that back up again, now with these three knowing the the true colors of the Legendary Three. And it really does put into perspective just how corrupt they are. And you haven't seen the corruption yet. Look at Bradford being a little shit, just giving Vanessa a scowl. There is some story bits that I definitely still remember to set up. So I can't wait to write that up. There's nothing too big here. And it does give you a little hint of their backstories, their past, I guess, not backstory. The relations that this particular group has. It hints at, but I'm not going to say much about it right now until I fully know what I plan on writing. I do say having at least a moment to just think over what I had planned in my plots and then going in, writing up the dialogue, and trying to fit everything in there without making it look terribly paced is a good challenge, Like the stories I've written before we did all this, they didn't really have anything in terms of limitations. This one's limitation is 55 kilobytes. The other series limitations is 22-minute reading margins. Basically, the others before this, they were just going as long as I could make them go. To which I must say, it's not that bad. I think we did pretty good for those series, and they're still going on, too. Small little story bits, considered episodes, but they're really just mini episodes. So, okay, mini to big, it depends, really. But they don't really have that much of a, what do you call it? Oh, yeah. I made a new brush. It's a stalagmite, or, in the other instance, stalactite, because we can just rotate the brush wherever the hell we want rotated to. I don't quite recall what the, was. Which one was the stalagmite, which one was the stalactite. All I refer to them as is spikes. Which is fine. Also, did I remove... Okay, I'm going to go into settings real quick. I'm going to check to see if I removed a thing. Everything might have... Hotkeys. No, I did not. Let me clear that. It's a good thing I didn't accidentally press the N key while doing the Nukem recording it. Yeah, that could have been bad with the way art time videos are recorded. But that's fine. It's fixed now, I think. I'm just gonna double check again, just because. Just double checking. Yep, it's gone. Good, great, fantastic. It's annoying, isn't it? Back into Minecraft now, and now I have to worry about accidentally forgetting about the N key, hotkey. I wish I had a little separate remote kind of thing that I could just connect via Bluetooth, that I could just press and boom, it just ends or pause or does what it needs to do. But I'm not in that professional level of YouTube career or at all anywhere near that particular level. It's just basically a hobby at this point. Essentially. My YouTube channel is essentially a hobby. But, yeah. I must say, it would have been a bad thing to have let that just stay there. It's a good thing I checked. I thought I removed it, and the good thing about Terraria Nukem Edition is that we don't have to worry about accidentally pressing the N key. Matter of fact, we were still in the numlock section, so we didn't have to worry about pressing it accidentally at all. Which is good. But yes, with all that we've made, I'd say we did pretty good with, what do you call it? Not accidentally pressing the end key. Anyways, so you're probably wondering what's going on in this scene, you may ask. Well, if you've been keeping track of the Nova Guardian story, let me regale to you the plot that is John's entire arc. His entire reasons for joining up with the Nova Guardian. Now, John joined up with the Nova Guardians for one reason. His brother, rest his soul, perished in a slime tongue attack in the first episode. And there's several plot points that occurs where they're trying to find his remains. But now the remains are not there. So now they're thinking maybe he's somehow still alive. In episode 6, it brings forth that particular instance with John having his family ability being the ability to stop your heart rate, which he was able to do to get the group to pass through forgot what this beast was called, but it was something about a thrasher, and into a cave where a Higa was. And I think at the end of that episode, Shikama over here was kind of eavesdropping on Vanessa and Kiahana's conversation about what had happened and what she had seen. She has seen at least Fuyashi, or it's Fu, just short-term Fu. Her name's too long to remember, and I'm mixing her name with... God, that's not a... I mean, it's sister on sister, which is not as bad as brother on sister, because you know what happens when that occurs. You end up making an eldritch abomination baby, and that's no good for anyone. No good at all. But regardless, Vanessa saw Fu perish, and she only saw Mikey's corpse. But Mikey's here, and older, with an alien partner. Hence the entire, episode name being Older Brothers. Despite the fact that John is Mikey's only brother, and John was considered his older brother. But now that's not the case, I think. I think that was the case, right? I mean, I could real quickly look it up. I can go on over to my DeviantArt page real quick. Nova Guardians. Or Guardian. That would have been in here, right? I'm going to do brother. Little brother. Yep, he referred to Mikey as his little brother, right? Who is now no longer little. Now he is grown man? At the very least, he's definitely older than John, which I forgot. Yes, I'll check it up right now. Sheesh. I think he was in his mid-20s. I'm pretty sure he was in his mid-20s. Yeez. That would be here, right? Yeah, Tina's 15, Yashashi's 24, Jonathan's 21, so he's early 20s. And Shikama is late 20s at 28, right? So he's 21. Which means that if you were little, you were probably around maybe 18 or so. But now look at you. Looking like you're much older than you were before. Which, if I can bring this up... What the hell? Oh, I'm in my hardcore mature drawing folders. And that looked wrong. For some reason, it showed a different icon, but it fixed itself. It was 29, was it? High alert? Yeah. If I remembered correctly, this was supposed to be Fu, but we changed that, and this is supposed to be Mikey. Which I guess, to an extent, it kind of matches. Let me put this over here. It kind of matches in a sense. He still has the goatee, but the blue eyes have been changed to brown eyes to more match the brother's appearance and whatnot. So, yeah, I mean, this is just basically an old drawing. A retcon, if you will. But I'd say this still works just fine in our favors, because it does show they do look alike. John would know. Am I missing anything here? I don't think I am. But yes, Mikey has returned. We thought he died. We saw his corpse, quote unquote, amongst the pile of bodies inside of that safety room in the first episode. But no, turned out he used his abilities to trick the slime tongue into thinking that he died, or that she already got him by, having his heart stop. And then he escaped. And I think it will be explained in this episode. He meets up with this alien guy who shows him the dark side of the Nova Guardian Corporation. The corruption that is within that company. Now, the people who are working for it, like these 5, for instance, and this does make sense to have all 5 of Vanessa's crew with Vanessa included as well, because this incorporates her importance more than anything else, because, she, despite, Kiahana being the one who kind of just was about to take Mikey under his wing, she is a part of, she's the commander of, John is a part of Vanessa's crew. Christ, I'm trying to figure out how to say this, but I'm failing. Vanessa is John's commander. She has more right to be in here just as much as Kiahana would. But I don't think Kiahana is going to be a part of this story as much. But I do think he should have some role in this, given what was about to occur with him taking Mikey under his wing. Now we're getting to some interesting arcs here. If we're going by like a 4-episode arc, if the first episode or the first arc is supposed to be like, I don't know, establishing the Nova Guardian name, basically just introducing the 3 commanders that we have currently, and some of the characters. I mean, yeah, technically speaking, Episode 3 introduces Kiahana's group in full, even though it doesn't show, images of them in the cover. And Episode 4 introduces Arya's group in full. And after that, Ishii joins the rookies with his vast, extensive wealth from his retirement to help them out. To which then they got an upgraded base, which helped them a little bit, but their tech is still not the best. They got some base upgrades, whereas before I think they were working with like paper and whatnot, if I remember, writing that correctly. And then they got an upgrade via Ishii's their funds. And then the second arc, 5 through 6, I think basically just introduced all of the characters in full. So, despite the characters not having too much of a purpose or drawn instance there, they are introduced into the series, with Episode 5 showing more of Kiahana and Arya's group, and also the rivalry that Kiahana and Vanessa's group has. More so with the recruits, not with those 2. Then, it basically is just, here comes the commanders. What also is introducing the commanders and their groups. But I would say the next arc after that is the one that fully introduces the characters in full and gets us a little bit more screen time with them. So basically, the first arc is the introductory arc. The second arc is the commander arc, which basically finishes off the recruit base. Now, everybody has their group. Kiahana only has his own group now. Doesn't have to worry about everyone else. And basically, the recruits base is now fully stocked with able-bodied recruits, recruits and the commanders to go with them. Which then leads us into the next arc, which was fully introducing the characters in full. Not just the commanders, the characters. Started with Ahiga's group, then Susan's group, and then Lloyd's group, while also introducing the concept of shapeshifters. The last episode of that arc was less of a full introductory of the characters, but more so just the start of the next arc, which I don't think this is too much spoilers in this instance. This is basically just describing what the plans are for the next sets of episodes. It's just going to basically be, the legend, or at least some of the Legendary Three, because Abdul, however the hell you pronounce his name, is basically just Sarah's lapdog. It's just like Bradford, Sarah, and Darwin sending the recruits on some very dangerous missions, thinking that they should be able to handle it now because they've been able to handle some S ranks, despite the fact that it's against the rules for E ranks to really be going out of their way to take on ranks higher than what they can handle. They let the commanders get away with it because of one reason and one reason only, just try to bring them down in terms of, they're going to fuck up, but they're getting results in, so they're not fucking up. So now we have to try to get to intervene, and then we'll blame the commanders if anything goes wrong. Which usually ends up with the group getting injured, hence what happened with Tina in the last episode. She managed just fine, though, and we did get a little bit more character development with her. She opens up to Vanessa and talk to her about her mother and the reasons for her joining the Nova Guardians. I don't recall if I said anything about her father yet, but I think the father is still meant to be kept a secret. Not just yet, he's going to be revealed. Soon, though. Soonish. Don't know when. But I'm sure you all can already tell if you can pick up on the context clues and everything that's happened with, her. Tina is definitely an interesting character. She's smart, strong, but she's very bratty. She's basically just lashing out at her father. Mother's dead because of the slime tongue attack. And after having heard that another slime tongue attack occurred, despite the fact that she overheard that the slime tongues went extinct because of her mother, decided to join up with the Nova Guard, she's already known in Nova Guardians, so this is not spoilers, decided to join up with the recruits in the Nova Guardians. And then, here's where we are right now. She's been given a cheap weapon by somebody who I think I referred to by I hinted towards a thing. I don't want to say anything because it might be a spoilers, but I don't remember. This is why you need to keep notes when you're making a series. This is why I've been starting to keep notes with my series. After I finished Adventurous Army and read through every single episode, I was like, you know what? I think it's time I improve my writing skill by keeping notes so I don't make contradictions and discrepancies. And I think we're doing good with that. Like, there are some things that occur in later episodes that I'm like, okay, well, I didn't really hint this before because I didn't plan on this, but I do like this concept, so maybe we'll plan it now, is what I have in mind for the 6th episode of Heavenly Deadland, which I'd say is a good thing I didn't get to the sparring scene with Hinichi and Haruko, Mistress Haruko, because I got something in mind for the beginning of that. Plus, the last 2 episodes I didn't draw Hinichi in because, again, this is less of a series that's focusing entirely on him, but more so focusing on every person in the group. That's kind of the idea that I have in mind for most of this. So I gotta try to give Kohaku some more speaking roles. I gotta try to get Yaiko some more fighting roles so that she develops more as a character and doesn't become another Sakura. Even though we just got to a point where Sakura just came in clutch. I don't know what episode we're on. I could probably check it up right now. Hey, I'm still in the thing. Here we're on episode 473. Well, we finished 473, so if you know, you know. I am still worried, even though it seems like this might be the end here, because I don't want to go into too much spoilers, but I don't see a very specific person in the Boruto series that for some reason they showed pretty early on for some reason. Also spoiled us on a certain character's death that occurs during the war. I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. He is a strange character to just have off immediately. Not immediately. It's been over like 400 episodes. I'd say if you're going to off a character that far into the series, I guess that would be the way to go. Regardless, I'd say, yeah, get Kohaku some more fighting scenes. It's pretty obvious that I had her more so inspired off of the main female character from Tokyo Ghoul, who I can't remember her name. It's been so long since I've seen it, like I have said multiple times, and I cannot remember any of the characters' names except for Jozu. But not for pretty obvious reasons. I'm sure you know. If you know, you know. But yes, I don't recall if she had a Sakura treatment, so I am going to try to give Kohaku more of an important role going into the next mini arc. A series like this, can it really have arcs? It's not like Fairy Tail or One Piece, where an arc is like hundreds of episodes, well, not hundreds of episodes, like dozens of episodes. I don't know. I guess the episode names in Jujutsu Kaisen kind of is the arc. Right now we're in Right and Wrong, and I'm very worried about a certain character that I like a lot and I do not wish to see harm to. And if something were to happen to them, well, let's just say that Kane Raitenenku is going to have a very bloody mess on his hands. But we'll see what happens. And this son of a bitch better not do what I think he's going to do, or else Kane Raitenenku is going to wring his scrawny little twink neck in. But I digress. I just worry because I like her character. I wish, we don't get that cut short. But like I said, it'll be Kane Raitenenku's time to shine once more. We already have him going after some characters in My Hero Academia. So why the hell not? I can have some standalones. I don't have to have the entire series go. I don't need to do a Luna Kaisen or Jujutsu Luna or some shit. I think we could just have Kane Raitenenku just pop into the universe and just annihilate whoever I deem fit to be annihilated. And let's just say the Deus Ex Machina name is still gonna hold true. He's going to find a way to murder that son bitch regardless, he freaking... Spoilers for the first part of Right and Wrong, Season 2. You've been warned. He killed Nanami, I think his name was. Which... already on thin ice. So having Kane Raitenenku destroy that son of a bitch. He's so cocky thinking he can get away with anything. He hasn't met Kane Raitenenku yet. A beast with unending power. Given powers to by an orb being guarded by a guardian that was at full strength, and yet he still died to Kane Raitenenku. The Guardians are meant to be overpowered beings that even Goku would struggle with. He would still be able to beat them, but it wouldn't be a case of kill, it would be a case of sparring. But the fact that Kane Raiteninku managed to kill one at full strength proves that in his current form, before form, he is a beast. And with this curse that he now has, which is essentially just every universe he goes into gives him more power equal to the universe's combination of all the electricity in it. And the universe is filled with a shit ton of electricity. Not just via us, but the cosmos ahead has it. I think it does. Does the universe have a lot of electricity? Scientists expect that it's a whole lot. How much electricity is there in the universe? This question may be impossible to answer, but we suspect that it's a whole lot. So, yeah, basically speaking, if the universe is just full of electricity, then every single universe Kane Raiteninku visits, and his power is amplified by the amount of electricity that is within that universe. It's basically just the more universes he hops to, the stronger he gets. And it's already established that he's hopped multiple universes, has killed multiple targets because of some being that I think we might have stated. Hold on, I'll fact check this by looking at the 3rd episode of My Luna Academia. I'm going to just type in #Luna, and this will take me to there quickly. Hopefully you can't see any of this. Okay, good, you're still on that. And there's poor Inuyasha. Wait, I'm not going to be able to find this here because it's Kane Raiteninku. Yes. It started with him killing 2 children who were trying to uproot his tyranny, and then he killed their older sister and then converted the entire planet into a metal planet. Then he decided to go to a different universe, but the universe he found was a pocket dimension that had a curse. His first target was All for One, his second target was Chisaki, and his third target, well, you will see, but let me see something here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, with the way that dialogue is shown, basically, you are given a pretty big hint as to who Kane Raiteninku is working under, which is a strange one. A strange character to be getting Kane Raiteninku to do his thing, but I guess technically, since, this character is related to an already powerful being that thankfully has been weakened due to supposedly stuff. As in, his kind. I think his kind. But I don't know much about his lore. It's a being shrouded in mystery. It literally has the name Mysterious in his name. It's a being that gathers power through all the universes via macabre creations, violence, death, gore, all of that. A literal embodiment of violence, essentially. Violence and horrifying monstrosities. Reginald Franklin and his macabre division has been trying their best to figure out how to deal with him. Or have been figuring out more about it, not him, because we don't know what it is. It is a monstrosity. Hell, if anything, it probably gathers powers from that son of a bitch. Going back to Jujutsu Kaisen. But regardless, if Kane Raiteninku comes in and just murders the ever-living shit out of that son of a bitch, then I guess technically he's not gonna have any, what do you call it? It's just gonna be, adding on to Kane's power, which then adds on to the mysterious entity's power. And after that, well, he just continues on his merry way and kills more things. It's not to say that he's a hero in this instance. Kane Raiteninku kills everybody. He would go after heroes if it's on the list, which is very sad to see that image, but it would happen. He is no good guy, but I'm using him to kill those that I despise. In fiction, of course. I feel like I can probably shade these parts in to give them more of a defined look. But yes, if that son of a bitch do something stupid, I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill him in the one way I know how. Use my own overpowered creation that nobody can seem to beat. That everybody's cheap tactics can't seem to affect. A being that can surpass everything in existence. A horrifying creation. One that probably shouldn't be given life to begin with. But it's too late. The embodiment of my rage lives on with him. And every character that destroys my favorite character will in turn get destroyed, and which will save my favorite character. Though granted, I don't think I can have that much in, for instance, Attacker on Titan. Although, I did have the idea, and I would have done this, but watching the series further, I did have the idea of having him go after Gabby, for obvious reasons. But I decided to ease off, and we have Luna out there doing her thing. I even have a pretty bad. And we also got Nezuko being added in to save Sasha. And I got a very badass drawing in mind. Oh man. I was thinking, how would I be able to do this? But the scene's in my head now. It's so cool. And we get to see Nezuko being badass. And adorable. So yes. Well, let's see here. This entire limitation period, we're finishing off the second season of both Luna v Titan and My Luna Academia, which follows 3 mature drawings, which gives us a little bit of a buffer before we go into the next season, which unfortunately only has 2 mature drawings, but that's fine because it's a pretty big one, and it leads us into a mature series that's all mature. Yeah, more define. I'll define this side too. So that won't be until the next limitation period that I have in mind. Which I guess it depends on when the hell I decide to do this. I should probably do it early before we get to the second season finale of Pito's Fetish because that's going to be a pain in the ass to draw. I don't even remember how many characters there were. I think I might have had a notepads thing. Let me open it up. You guys don't mind if I do. We're almost done anyways, and how much time is left? Shoot, we got 4 hours here. Or 4 hours, 40 minutes, I meant to say. So you can look at this for a little bit while I remind myself where the hell this was. Artwork tool-based creation notes. It was drawing ideas, right? Put it in here. Was it in this one? Oh, yes, it was. Oh, shoot, I forgot I was building this. Hold on. Well, it's a good thing I have pretty much all the episodes down by memory at this point. Yep. I don't even have Season 3 up yet, but that's fine. I forgot I had all these episode ideas here. Oh, I did this episode idea. I can remove that. Didn't do that. Who the hell was Urbosa again? Oh, right, I remember now. That was Breath of the Wild. Tana. Oh, I remember. Oh, man. I wish I could do that, but I got series that are... And that... Wait, what? What was that one again? Oh, right. Right. I don't remember that scene for some reason. Okay, I'm losing my train of thought here. So... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, and that's a fucking NPC, 29, 30. Plus however many Pito puppets I decide to put in, plus Pito themselves, Luna. That's probably gonna... It depends if I try to, like, combine, like, two with that. That would be 50... That would be around 57 characters. And I have to get that done with all of the other things that I have to get done with. That's gonna be a nightmare. I haven't even been able to get an hour of time to do any work in Game Crafters. In what freaking universe am I going to be able to do that for? Admittedly, the first 3 months of this year is just series galore. Crying out loud, we got Tickle Manor's 4th episode, Angels and Devils 4th episode. There was AdventurousAmi's finale, as well as the Adventurous Ami cover drawing that I think I showed you. Elementals Reborn. No, that's not it yet. It was... No, Lustful Horrors next. That was the 4th episode of that. Then Heavenly Deadland, the 5th episode. You've already seen me draw that. Now we got this. Then we've got Laughter Academy. It's just so much. I don't have any time. Especially with Nova Guardians taking an entire Sunday. I already got like a head start with the logo here. But my god. There's still so much that we have to get done with. February, thankfully, is slightly less of a pain in the ass, but that still doesn't change the fact that we got an episode of Nova Guardians. Whew, boy. I took the mantle, and I'm sticking with it the best that I can. And what's worse is, what month would that have been? April, May, June. June, I'm probably gotta make a raft thumbnail, and maybe before I make the raft thumbnail, I should record the first episode of Raft and see if I can do 2 hours without it stuttering or lagging or going to a halt as I try to optimize the game. The game runs terribly on its own without OBS. With it, ooh, man, I can't imagine. What was I doing again? I lost my train of thought going into my existential crisis. Not legitimately, but we got a lot that we gotta take care of, so it is, how do you say, a lot to take into consideration. Wait, where the hell am I? You fool. Wait, no. Just subtract. Don't get me wrong, I like doing this. I like making these series. If I didn't have to worry about work, if I made money off of YouTube or series like these, writing, directing it, and having it animated by a professional crew, I would do this 24/7. Now, obviously, if I am just writing the series, doing cover arts for like potential manga and whatnot, and have like a bunch of manga artists do the panels, like that would probably be my deal. I write the series, I draw the cover art the best that I can, and then everyone else who's drawing the manga panels will take the credit of the manga panels, obviously. Right now we're just making novels. With a cover, book cover, quote-unquote. The one thing that Elementals Reborn has over most of the other series at the moment is the fact that we have some scenes that we are drawing that we could technically put in a book, but it wouldn't be enough. I do wonder if I could somehow eventually get to a point where I could self-publish a book. How would I do that with a series like Adventurous Ami? Because Adventurous Ami is a hentai with plot, for the most part. But there is erotic books that probably has like some rules to stuff like that, so you can't just post straight up penetration related stuff. Although I'm sure there are some sites there that would allow for like ebook based things, but first of all, I'm nowhere near a point where I'm recognized enough where I can get a crap ton of sales. And that's why I'm trying to work on building up DeviantArt and to some extent YouTube. That's why I'm jokingly making jokes and sarcastic challenges to YouTubers. Accidentally ended up coincidentally getting Matt Pat to retire. And making a very hilarious Meat Canyon Markiplier. What's the word again? Impression? That's not the word. Is it the word? Is it impressions? Damn it, I forgot the word. I think it is impressions. And having a laughing fit in the next episode of Minecraft ROTC Edition. If you are an art time enjoyer and you watch through the entire episode, episode 124, I think it was. Yeah, I mean, you can, if you know Meat Canyon Markiplier and you look up what the name of the episode is, you will know what it is. And my God, it's my most favorite episode so far. I am proud of that one. If only for the complete chaos that we went down that route. The amount of energy you need to be able to keep that chaos going is just insane. And to do that for 2 full hours. I will say, that would be a really good way to improve upon improvisation skills. Making those stories and trying to do several character voices at once. I even tried to do change, but my God, do I not have the quick thinking and wittiness to do change. I don't know how the hell Markiplier and friends, plus Bob and Wade, can do it. Although, I do find my Ethan impression hilarious, if nothing but for the sheer ridiculousness of how that went. If you don't know what I did, just I don't need to go down that chaotic route. My back is sore from carrying that episode, also sleeping on a terrible bed that's curved. I would try to show you my bed frame, but I don't feel like wasting my time any further with that. Bed frame, just like, here's a bed frame, broke. It's not, here's a bit, and here's a broken bit here amongst the wood bits. I don't know how the hell it broke. I guess we just have a cheap bed frame or some shit. But we have a big queen-size bed. Bed's freaking huge. I do like the space and being able to sprawl my legs out. But yes, back sore. Probably going to be sore again, regardless of what's happening. I have no choice but to sleep on this freaking bed, and we've been trying to get it replaced for ages, but nobody's on the ball. Nobody's getting on the ball on that shish. I don't know why. It can't be that expensive to get a freaking bed frame, right? I say that, but the shit's been getting expensive, and apparently it costs like $2,600 or so to get a new washer and dryer, because apparently the washer and dryer broke. Because that just happens. Everything breaks. A lot of things just likes to break. I don't know why. I can't help but feel like everything is designed to break. And I'm sure those two up top probably just think you're conspiracy. There's no reason to believe in this conspiracy nonsense. But you kidding me? There's a lot of corruption in this world. You can't just turn a blind eye to the corruption nonsense. And that goes the same to the fools who are making product that breaks easily so that you have no choice but to spend a bunch of money to replace it. Like this keyboard that, although admittedly I do use this way more than a normal person would, because I create a bunch. Like, I feel like if this was my job, my laptop would be in a work fund. This is a work-related purchase. Technically it is, even though I'm not making any money off of it. But it is me working on a dream that will never die. And I will grow old and continue this dream, no matter the cost. I will die continuing to create as much as I can. Because that is what I want to do. For obvious reasons, most people in their adult ages seems to give up on their dream. They go in ahead and sing, "My dreams are all dead and buried." But me, even if I'm like in my 80s, I will still continue to create. Because at the very least, at the end of the day, I can say at least I tried. And because I tried, I left behind many things that people can enjoy. And even if one day that will not stick around for too long, even if all of humanity dies out, and so is everything else, my memories, my soul, will still carry these creations on in whatever the hell next life is done. So although we're trying to leave my body and skip ahead. But yes, I continue. Even if in the end it doesn't matter, I still continue. Because this is what I like to do. This is life. Life shouldn't be all about work. Life should be pursuing what you enjoy doing most. And I will always be a firm believer of that. Screw the assholes up top who think, you are destined to be an office jockey, or a factory worker, or a janitor. No. They can go suck the fattest of cocks. Because I will always work towards my dreams, no matter what. Screw what they all have to say. Screw their thought process, thinking that we are nothing more than just the lower scum on the ladder. They're trying to toss that ladder down. I'll just build another ladder. I'll create a ladder and I'll put very sharp spikes on it and ground it into the ground. So when they try to kick it, the spikes will go into their foot, and I just run up the ladder. Climb up, giving them the meanest eye. And I'm like, that's right, bitch. You're now on equal levels to me. And now I will continue my creation and soar even higher than you could ever hope to achieve. Sure, I might have some demons, but everyone up top has their own demons too. And I have claimed my demons. I have made my demons known. And I am dealing with them. I've got my own problems. It is what it is. Okay, I need to put you... Well, it depends on what I want to do. I'll move this in here. And that should do it for the fog, I think. Yeah. It's a shame to say it, but I do have my own demons. Insatiable rage. Insatiable lust. Although one lust variation of that is just me being a bottom, of course. A bottom goth. The other version is one that I do not wish to indulge. No matter how much it tries to tempt me, I do not wish to indulge in that. That demon is not good. If you want to know what the hell I'm talking about, I could probably show you it. What album was that in again? It had to have been... Wait a minute. Right, it had to have been in the 40s. Jeez, it's so strange to think, because 42 was when I did the 1,000th deviation milestone, and we're, after this, one drawing away from getting to album 58. That's insane. It's somewhere around past this point. There it is. The demons in question. This son of a bitch, which is my rage, and this son of a bitch, which is my lust. And this is a different variation of lust, but it's the goth. Yes, it's the goth girl in me. That's right, I have a goth in me. And an emo. But this one is more so towards the sadness and forcing images of my close loved ones and cat dying, and I don't like it. Sadness, anger, lust, and happiness, but also lust. Regardless, there's a spectrum here, and the only one here I really would want to take over is this. Not this, definitely not this. And not this either, definitely not. and neither you. I don't want to be a depressed mess. I would rather be a goth girl than be a depressed mess, a raging demon, or, man, it's just a lot to take in with the succubus. The succubus, the demon. Well, I guess, yeah, I called those the Inhumans, and then we got the humane personalities. Put them all together and you get me. A balance. A balance, and the Inhumans and even some of the humans are trying to take over. It sucks, really. But, it helps to, personify them, understand them, and try to combat against them. Oddly enough, the ROTC cats kind of quell the demon and the emo. Well, I guess technically ROTC cats would also quell the succubus as well. But more so, Nezuko quells the succubus. No matter what, we will always keep Nezuko pure in our eyes. Which really says a lot about the succubus. That I have to keep dead and buried deep within the recess of my being. I do not wish for that to be its thing. It's trying so desperately to get out of both of those inhuman personalities. I wouldn't call it a split personality. It's more like extreme emotions really changing what your personality would essentially be. That's how I am kind of personifying those things. Extreme emotions that really just change who you are as a person. Not to say that they aren't their own things, but I do refer to them as my demon. The demon's coming out! Which, man, I can't imagine what the hell kind of... If the demon were to ever come out, this world is doomed. I don't wish for the demon to fully transform and take over. It would be just a full-on isekai, or isekai, or however the hell you pronounce that word. Don't wish for that. Definitely do not. Now, is it a healthy thing to personify these things? I don't know. It does kind of help put into perspective my own mental issues. Gives me a little bit more knowledge on it. Yeah, sure, therapy would probably help, but I have enough of an idea on my own self to be able to, at the very least, figure out the issues that I have myself. Of course, obviously, this job isn't helping with the rage of the demons. The decisions that this job makes baffles me sometimes, and even angers me to a point where the demon just can't help itself. I can't help it. If I have a reason to be angry, I'm going to be angry. You've seen the demon come out a few times in Tales of Berseria and sometimes Sonic Adventures 2. For crying out loud, you've seen that thing multiple times. You've seen at least a bit of it. The sheer rage and the want to tear whatever the hell's anger me apart limb from limb, skin by skin, nerve ending from nerve ending, flesh by flesh, bone by bone, soul by soul. The demon's a very dangerous being that I try to keep in check, but when very hard games piss me off constantly and consistently, and throw cheap bullshit at me, sometimes I can't help it but let the demon out. Does it help a little bit and ease the stress? Probably not, I don't know. That's probably why I'm slightly turning into Wade over here. And also the job. Just the demon over here. Turning me into Lord Minion 7-7, but less clever and less funny. Although I really found my strive with... I don't want to recreate it because I don't want to go and... It won't be as big of a laughing fit, but I'll still be laughing almost uncontrollably. God, I can't wait for that episode to come out. And I really hope that one becomes the most popular episode because... That was my most favorite episode. I'm going to be honest with you. There's nothing I'll be able to do to top that. But who knows? Maybe I will if I keep diving into chaos. But yes, lots of problems. Is it going to be fine? Yeah, sure. Why not? Nothing too bad. I just need to keep my own head in check, basically. Pessimistic. And even though my brain blanks on a lot, I do have some general idea. I do know what's going on in the world and all the problems going on, even if I might not look like I know. But, yeah. It is not healthy, though, living in this particular kind of cycle. The 9 to 5, a job that seems to doesn't really take into consideration your own free time, seems to think that you can just drop everything in your life for them and only them. It's not healthy, and I wish they would see it. I wish they could see it, but they're never going to see it because they are too blinded by their own greed. It's a shame, really. It's a life that I really didn't want to get into. I guess part of me kind of saw that this was an outcome that could have happened. People suck. Alright? There's a lot of corruption in this world. A lot of people trying to use religion and politics as an excuse to divide people even further. It's sad, really. Sometimes I wish there was a better way. And I guess I am kind of going down a Lord Minion 7-7 route of thinking through a more philosophical lens, even though I haven't taken any philosophical colleges. Matter of fact, I've never went to college. I don't even know if college is that helpful at this point. Like, what more knowledge could I really do? I'm increasing my own skills in art as much as I can, in my own way. Even if it's not in the professional instance, I'd say screw the professional instance. It's good to have people with their own unique art talents instead of going down the route of... Oh, that's already blue. Instead of going down the route of cookie-cutter templates. But yeah, it does help to look through a philosophical lens. Even if I go off of basic human instincts or my own inhuman instincts, it helps. It does help a little bit to try to piece it together. I don't know what kind of moral, philosophical standpoint I would be in. I'm not sure. Me personally, I am of the firm belief that whatever we create becomes real in another universe. The concept of God, I think, consists of some person in some universe creating a story, creating and building up a world. Which, my entire YouTube channel is pretty much all about creation. Even Sonic Adventures 2, we're creating the perfect chow, for crying out loud. But yes, I'm all about creations. I don't know what creationist is. I think that's a completely different thing. But in today's day and age where we take a meaning of a word and change it to our own meaning, I would take creationist and have it essentially be a person who creates, who makes things, who has an imagination that never dies out. I'd say that's a good thing about where I am right now in my age, going on 28 right now, is my imagination is still high. I am proud of my own imagination. I am proud of my unique ability to continue to create, no matter what. I have yet to experience art block. Sure, I might have a little stumble here and there with, figuring out what the hell I plan on writing. But I eventually get to a point where, okay, let's sit down and think about this. What kind of plot point can we work on here? Which one would seem good going forward? Because I haven't thought about all the episodes for these yet. Besides, most of Nova Guardians is kind of the sci-fi version of Cowboy Bebop with an overplot. Well, I can't put everything together in Cowboy Bebop. This does have a lot of filler episodes to it, but some of them does kind of overarch to the main plot, which is the corruption of the Nova Guardian Corporation. But yeah, my point stands. I am lucky to not really experience a whole lot of art block. I can create endlessly if I wanted to. If in the future android bodies were made and I were to be in my own android body that I have stated in recent episodes around this particular timeline, at the time I blurred shit. I thought I was deleting shit, but I was not deleting shit. I was blurring shit. Anyways, I thought of the design in mind for the android look. So if you want to look that up, just look around the episodes here. If I essentially was able to live for a long time without having to worry about any physical body pains that you get when you grow older, I would essentially create until the Earth is dead, essentially. Until maybe, I go and have my soul transfer over to, say, Luna's universe. That part of me creating would continue to create no matter what, for as long as I possibly can. And I would never run out of ideas. I would always be able to find something new to make. Hell, Lustful Horrors was basically a spur-of-the-moment creation. I was generally surprised when I somehow managed to come up with that. The first 3 episode pilots did really good, and then I somehow came up with Night Before Graduation. At the end of the day, I have a never-ending reservoir of creative ideas. I've got even more with a bunch of other characters, but yeah, for the most part. I got a lot of ideas. I feel like the only one I could probably have a block on is animals. Because there's a limit to how many animals we can draw, but I guess at some point we could probably draw some funny animal scenes. Hell, I even had a story idea in mind for this little girl making stories about all the animals she sees out of the window of her bedroom or something. Mimicking storyline, or mimicking things that are happening in her life. And it is... I don't want to really spoil it if I do go with this idea. I guess technically I could, but it's a 22-minute read and imagine series again. And I don't have it in me to add another series to write, even if it's maybe 6 episodes. I don't have it in me. Unless I didn't have to worry about my job, I don't think I'd be able to add this in yet. It would probably have to be something in the future. There is just so much that I have to create. And thankfully, Angels and Devils is finishing up in this limitation period on March. So that's one less series I have to worry about, but I still got a lot to worry about. And yeah, Tickle Manor goes into hiatus, but it still goes into another 6 episodes until that ends. And then we got Laughter Academy. There's just so much. There's so much here. Ooh. You have no clue just how much there is. So, yeah. I'd say trying to reduce the amount I have is a smart idea. I got too many things. Alright, I think like some of these areas need to have some darkness to them. And have some of it be bluish. I don't know, we'll see. Darkness up here, because it is supposed to be kind of in the dark, I guess. Any more darker swatches I can do like this, maybe? Nah, it's not dark. Well, there is this. Oh, you know what? That does make me wonder. What if I swap this around to be more of a bluish color or a tealish bluish color? Okay, that's too dark there, and that's too dark there. But I do like that up here. I don't think I'm going to use this swatch. This one, though. I'm not going to save this. This is a bit much. Do I have a dark blue? I do. I didn't add all the dark blues I probably could have added. Oh, yeah. I got tripped up by the swatch change there, being more vivid than I remember it being, but it's fine. But, oh, yeah, going on to the subject of, never-ending ideas of reservoirs, this series that I've made with My Luna Academia, Luna v Titan, followed by Kane Raitenengu and Deus Ex Machina. Any one of my favorite characters gets myrtleized. I throw Kane Raitenengu in there to save them, but mostly just to kill the thing trying to kill them. So yeah. We got that as well. Which, I do like. I do like a lot. It just basically gives me a significant amount of ammunition and directs some of my anger for certain decisions in the story. Hell, I might even have Luna save some characters in Heavenly Deadland if I wanted to. But it's more so just going to be, she goes in, the original timeline still stays the same. I'm still going off of that concept. But she makes an alternate timeline. I mean, why the hell not? If that's what's happening. Yeah, that is a very funny use for Luna. I have Luna go in and just mess around with the timelines of other people's universes and the universes that I have created as well. Because why not? Because I can. Because I have all of this creation power. I can do whatever I want. I have the skills, the drawing skills and the writing skills to do whatever I want. The universe is within my hands. Not the original, but the alterations are in my hands. Anyways, we finished. I think. Yeah, this looks pretty good. Light up her face a little bit. If anything, I would say probably maybe try to put in more shadows to Bradford, but for the most part, yeah, we're kind of finished. I would say that the concept of changing the timelines is a necessary concept to have to increase one's creative abilities. Now, obviously, there's more to it than that. You probably need to ensure that you try to write it in a way that has the timeline not change as much to where the future doesn't get completely screwed up, but have some instances occur that changes up certain events. Like, yeah, okay, well, I was going to bring, but I can only bring up one of them, with, Luna going in and saving, it's spoilers for Attack on Titan, I've already spoiled it beforehand, but I'll say this anyways. Luna going in and saving Sasha from getting cheap-shotted, which then ends up with, is it not in this album? Wait, was it in 57? No, it couldn't have been. That's where Devil Sympathizer was. Was it in 55? Was it that long ago? There it is, yeah. See, in this one right here. I think I did an episode on this. Let me check real quick, but as I'm checking, in this one, originally Sasha wasn't there. You can see the back of her right there. She wasn't there, but now she is. Where did I do it? I feel like I did, right? God, and seeing all of the freaking series there. It was definitely after Noel, or Goth Noel, I think. Was it not here? Okay, maybe it wasn't. You know, it's hard to tell. I don't I did the one with that one. Yeah, no, it's not here. Well, no, there's Luna looming over Levi, but after that, yeah, we didn't do an episode with this one, so you guys didn't see me draw that one, but that's fine. Originally, she wasn't there. And here's Luna over here, strutting her atomic manipulation abilities, and also saving him. This guy, right over here. Notice how all the other Titans are in shadows, but he's not because he's important. His life was saved because of Luna. That's the power I possess. The original timeline doesn't get changed, but the alteration is better than the original. So yes, I think we kind of finished up here. I think. This looks pretty good. The idea with what we had here is the rain in the back. It has like a nice bluish green look. Nothing too bright. We got brightness here. Although I feel like I probably could maybe try to reduce some of the pink around her face so it's not too overbearing. Yeah, like so. And some yellow. Now keep the yellow there. The yellow works fine. Yep, all in all, I'd say this is pretty good. I hope I will be able to get this done within a Sunday, so without further ado, with effects. With the fog here, it looks so dull, but, the effects kind of change that up a bit. In a dark cave in a cove, I think I called this Hurricane Cove, where you get to see Mikey, who's now older than John all of a sudden, with his alien partner. I don't know his name yet. I'll have to figure his name out, but we'll worry about that when the time comes for me to write it up. In the meantime, that's all the time I have for today's episode, folks. I am drifting downwards. Yes, we have the ability to create whatever we want, and we've said this multiple times before, but there are several hundred episodes of everything. Well, no, there's over 100 episodes of our time, but regardless, thank you all for watching today's episode. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, subscribe for more, check out that there playlist, and of course, previous episode of Our Time right over here, and the most recent episode of Terraria New Competition right over here. Anyways, thank you all for watching. I'll see you all in the next episode. Later.